Okay, guys, it's nearly at the end of the day, and but everyone's bloated and tired and wants to go home, and I'm doing the graveyard shift, so here we go. So, okay, yeah, my name's Paul Becouarn, and I'm employed by Active Lancashire, and I deliver an employability project called Rosendale Works over in Rosendale on behalf of Rosendale Borough Council. My story today, and what I wanted to speak about is life wasn't always like that for me. And I've been working for Active Lancashire for about 10 years. I've actually bought a house in Rosendale. I drive, I've got two little dogs. I love walking in the country. I have a beautiful life, and I've changed my complete scenery from a long time ago. My family is, the house is full of light, and there's some great things happening within my family. But as I say, it wasn't always like that. And there was a film that was shown this morning about my life in the back room down there, which has took a lot of courage, and a lot of bravery over the last 12 months, in being able to sit with directors and actually go through a 12-month process of discussing what that life looked like. And then obviously they put a film together. Now, the reasons I've done that is because over the last 10 years, I've managed to build resilience. I'm abstinent from any guilt or shame or regret. And I'm really proud of what I've done and my contributions towards the communities within Lancashire over the years. And just on that, I'm talking about how life is today. Now, I didn't have a national insurance number till I was 37. Okay, that's quite hard to believe. And I was lost in the system since the age of 12 when I went through secure units, prison systems. I went through YP systems. There's a lot of trauma attached to my family, a lot of criminal activity. My dad was murdered by one of my brothers when I was 14. I lost my twin brother through an overdose when we were 21. And I was sharing the same cell with him in Liverpool prison. And he was released, and 2 days later, the door flew open and said, "Your kid's gone. He's dead." So there was a lot of trauma. I was in Strange Ways riots when I was 17, up on the roof and seeing a lot of drama in Strange Ways. I've seen 3 people, the cells go in on the sex offenders landing, and I watched all that nonsense go on at 17 years of age. So I had a lot of trauma, and I continued the trauma. My oldest brother, Darren, is a sociopath, and was released after doing 16 and a half years, and I was running about with him for a bit. And we were arrested for 2 murders in Liverpool, for 2 shootings. And I, at that point, even from the age of 12, had no life skills, independence, or any concept of living life on life's terms. I was completely institutionalized. And I was completely wrapped around heroin, drink, prescription drugs for a very long time. The trauma just enhanced my using, when I was using. I found myself doing a geographical right across Europe. I found myself in the prisons in Europe, in Santa Cruz and Tenerife. I found myself in Lefkimi in Greece. I can't go back to Greece or Spain. And it just keeps stacking up, the issues, the problems. And there was a moment in my life that I just wanted to live. I wanted to live. I found myself in Tenerife, and I was in a phone box, and and no one would speak to me anymore. You're too dangerous. We can't be around you. You know, people are going to kill you. You know, all these gangsters are going to kill you in Liverpool. No one wants to know you anymore. And I didn't feel I had a place left in the UK, and I was dying. I had hepatitis C. I was about 8 stone. I had no shoes on my feet, and I was in a phone box in Tenerife begging me mum, I'm dying, you know, and that was like a last phone call, if you like, to my mother. I'm dying. And she said, I want you to come home. You know, and I hadn't lived at home since I was 12 years of age. And I didn't do education. I didn't do school. I was in these secure units, and there was only 7 in the country at that time, and I went in every single one of them. She said, come home. But there's conditions, you know, and them conditions were because it was all over the media, or because of my brothers and stuff like that. You can't go anywhere. You need to stay in the house. We're going to get you help. And that's where it started, you know. And I went through many services, treatment centres, detox units, counsellors, psychotherapists, emotional attachment groups, to try and get restored to sanity. I managed to stop using in 2011, okay? To rebuild my life, as we take for granted, was really hard work. You know, it wasn't easy. National insurance number, you know, all these things we take for granted. What does work look like? You know, what does independence look like? What does a flat look like? You know, what does a pair of keys look like? What do relationships look like? What does compassion look like? You know, what does love look like? Get a little emotional there. You'll have to forgive me. So it was a journey that I couldn't do on my own, and that's what this film's about. You know, you can't do this on your own. And I did reach out. And in that time, I met Active Lancashire, you know, and at that time, I remember going for an interview with Darren Wright, and I'd never worked, ever. And he gave me a chance, you know, he gave me a chance to become a support worker. And from there, I've just climbed and climbed and climbed and climbed in training, in education, how to look after myself, you know, independence, all that journey that goes with it. But what this film is about is around consistency, about how much you need that for somebody like me. With support, consistent support, from A to Z. None of this 3 months, 12 months funding project programs and then he gets passed to another service. Consistent, and investing in somebody to make an asset to their community. My contribution to the community speaks for itself today, you know, and what I've achieved. In being managers, assistant managers, I've managed rehabilitation units. I manage people, I manage a team. You know, I do quite well in Rosendale. And most of all, you know, I'm proud of who I am today. I'm very proud of what I've become. And I'm an ambassador, you know, I'm a mentor, I'm a teacher. You know, and my ethos is leaving the ladder down for the next guy. And that's what I'm about, you know, and that's what I try and pass to our team. And keep hold of that ethos with that consistency. I'm only standing here today because I was quite, my anonymity was quite important to me for the past few years. I was full of fear and very afraid of what people thought, you know, and I've tried to challenge them in certain dynamics, working with different organisations, and sometimes I'm afraid, sometimes I'm not, you know, around what people will think. Today I don't think like that. you get what you're given. You know, my work speaks for itself. But as well, just in community, asset-based community development and the services and what's available within our communities today, I would never be where I am without them. I would never be where I am today without you guys. No chance. You know, I could never do this on my own. So, yeah. And I don't want to sound all emotional and sad, you know, because life is fabulous. You know, life's great today, you know, and I've got a cracking team behind me to, you know, and I can be myself, you know, and be authentic and, you know, and I can help people and, you know, and I can learn and so forth. So I'm really grateful that, so thank you. Okay.